Welcome, kindreds. It's Jessica TheStoryWitch, and this is the May 2018 edition of Dark Moon Wishes, where we talk a little bit about the moon and how we can use it for manifestation at this time. And also, I do some readings if there's anybody in the room, which at the moment I think it's just me, so that could be a little bit awkward. I know it is. Oh, hey! Oh, hey, Andrea! Thank you so much for coming. That's so cool to see you. Um, I know it's Mother's Day in the US, and I think in other parts of the world as well. It's not in the UK. We have our Mother's Day in March, so when obviously I schedule these to match up as closely as possible as I can to the moon. So, oh, it's so nice to have you here as well. That's really cool. Thank you. So yeah, I hadn't really twigged that it was Mother's Day at this time, and also because of the timings of these, is trying to kind of get a good time which will work for people in different time zones and things like that. So I haven't really found the ideal time, but there you go. Oh yeah, nice. So in Spain, it's the first weekend of May. Yeah, I think like different countries obviously have it at different times. I always thought, oh hey Bella, happy Mother's Day. Hey, oh hi, welcome Shakti Shaman. Oh, Fireside Witch. I think I've watched some of your videos actually. Hi, thank you so much for being here. Welcome. So yeah, it is Taurus dark moon. Oh, I'm so glad you made it too. It is Taurus dark moon. It is because it's the moon was actually like midday for me today, and it is in the UK now. It's like 9 o'clock, so we're kind of I think about 8 hours or so into this new moon cycle. So we are already in that new Taurus moon manifesting phase. And also there's loads of other crazy astrology going on at the moment with Uranus mainly causing a bit of havoc. So I thought this was going to be normally Taurus dark moon I love because my natal moon is in Taurus, and I was born just before the dark moon. I was born in balsamic moon, so I kind of resonate with time really well. But I think because of all the other kind of energies and things that have been going on, I don't know how you guys have been feeling, but it doesn't feel that kind of earthy, grounded to me anyway. It does feel a little bit more unstable than that. So normally Taurus, really rooted, and yeah, I'm glad it's not just me. And so yeah, it's that kind of, it almost feels uprooted, so it is a little bit strange. I did cut out, or did I not bring it up? Maybe I didn't bring it up actually. There's a little bit in the moon diary that I use, which I pull bits out of to stick in my journal, which you might have seen if you've seen some of my other videos on that. And that explains about some of the different things that are going on. Yeah, sleeping, definitely. All those kind of things. The energy just seems a lot more buzzy, and I don't know, I've been sleeping okay first of all, but having kind of crazy dreams and then waking in the night. So, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And I think if you're harnessing and working with that energy, which obviously it looks like you're doing, Andrea, so you are able to kind of tap into that, and obviously the way our personal astrology works as well will definitely help or hinder at certain times. I just really like this time usually of being a kind of more sensual, slowing down, a kind of really hands and feet in earth. Oh, Kirsten, hey, so nice to have you here. Yeah, we were just talking about the energy of this time and how normally Taurus would be very rooted, very connected, very earthy, sensual, Aphrodite, is that kind of love, self-love, and just practical money and things as well. But it doesn't feel like that for me, and for some of the other people here as well. It's been a little bit more buzzy and energetic, which for some people is obviously working really well, but for others of us who are kind of looking forward to this time, me, it hasn't quite worked out so well. But that's the great thing about, there will be times, there's seasons for all these different things. So I should probably apologize. I am in my pajamas because, like I said, it's 9 o'clock here in the UK, which is not particularly late, I know, but it's a Sunday evening and I just wanted to kind of chill out a little bit. So I thought I'm just going to get in my jammies. I just did a little Instagram. I never remember to tell anybody about these live videos, so I'm always amazed that some of you guys actually even make it in. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you. But yeah, I never remember to actually tell anybody. So I need to remember to do that. And I thought, oh, I know, I'll go on Instagram. Oh, thank you. And do a little live on there just to tell people that this is actually starting now. And I did it, but they've got like those filters on there. So I was like, ooh. So I'm scrolling through and found a little filter which made me look all pretty with a flower crown and stuff. And they don't have that on YouTube. At least I don't think they do. I'm looking at what, no, I don't think there's anything like that. I got some lovely, it doesn't look very nice. It looks a bit like piss, to be honest. But but it's actually the sweetheart tea that I had in my macabre box in February, and it's so nice. I haven't been drinking it loads, but sometimes I just really get that that kind of urge for something a little bit more. It's got like rose hip and stuff in it, which is really nice. And I've also got my candle. You probably can't see it actually, it's a little bit too high on the shelf, going behind just to have. Yeah, and it tastes a little bit like white tea, but it is even, it has got roses in it. It's like a blend of rose hip, rose. What else is in it? There's some quite stimulating things, but there's also some more balancing things as well. So it actually works as a really good combination. And I've got my rose candle. I try when it is Taurus moon time to kind of bring in those kind of sensual elements a little bit more. What are you guys drinking? Have you guys got cups of teas and drinks and things with you? Or have you been doing anything nice today for Mother's Day? Apart from trying maybe to catch up on sleep because of this crazy energy. So yeah, Mercury and Mars have been doing weird things as well. But the main kind of player that has been really causing chaos is Uranus. My husband laughs at me because he's like, why do you say Uranus? It's because you don't want to say Uranus. He's so juvenile sometimes. But yeah, Uranus is moved into Taurus as well. It's been in Aries for a while now. Oh, sometimes quiet is nice though. And Uranus is like the planet of, it's kind of like a dissolver. So when it goes into a sign, it always, the things that you would kind of rely on for that sign, it can kind of change things around. And almost, if you're a tarot reader as well, which I know lots of you here are, it's almost like the reversal of that. It's kind of sometimes it needs to be done, but it's that kind of shadowy side, and it will bring the shadow out. So Uranus now moving into Taurus, our kind of stable and safe security, our home, not so much family, not so much people, it's more the possessions and things like that. So with Uranus in there, I think these next, it's kind of 7 or so years that it's going to be there for now. So it's going to be quite an interesting time. I believe that it's always for our own growth, you know, and it will be something that will be good for us long term, but I think it's going to feel a little bit not so great in the short term. You know, there may be things like job changes, problems with houses and things like that. So it's, you know, there's some instability. So you can't really rely on things that you have been able to rely on so far. So yeah, I think it's exciting though. And as far as like a manifestation time goes, I grabbed the Moonology book out. So I thought I could read you guys I mean, obviously it really matters what it is in your sun is in Taurus. Yes, and where your sun is always where you shine in your chart. So you will shine as being that kind of stable. Hey, Anna. And having Uranus in your own sign will mean that the way you kind of present to the world will probably change quite a lot as well, you know, in the way even that you see yourself as well. Sometimes it can be what makes us realize what it is we're supposed to be doing with our lives, which is really cool as well. It dissolves, you know, it will really change things, which for me, Uranus is in, obviously in Taurus for all of us, but that falls in my 8th house, which is the house of kind of death. And I'm really not so keen on that. Exactly, yeah, the releasing so we can open the door for new beginnings. Yes, definitely. Wow, okay, so having big clear outs and stuff, definitely. And also, yeah, that kind of physical clearing, and sometimes it'll manifest in physical body as well, you know, so house clearing definitely is a really good thing to be doing at this time. And just being, I think as long as you work with the energy of it, then yes, exactly. Yeah, you have to face your own potential. It's that Marianne Williamson quote, you know, from, is it from Miracles of Love, when she says, it is not our darkness which frightens us, it is our light, you know, it is our potential. And that can be when we can't hide behind things anymore, then you have to kind of come out, don't you? And you have to shine and do what you're supposed to do. You know, you can't kind of bullshit around anymore. And I think that is most definitely... Wow. Funny you should say that, Shakti, because it is definitely, being in Taurus, I am hopeful that it's going to be giving people, myself included, a kick up the bum to actually get my body moving and to take better care of my body, because that is something that definitely does need to change. I love that idea though of dissolving. That would just be so nice, wouldn't it? You could just like shower it off. Step out of the shower looking like a completely different person. I like that. I like that idea. So with the Taurus moon, let me find what she says in here about the Taurus moon, see if there's anything different that I haven't added in. I can't, once the chat disappears, I can't see them anymore. Oh, okay. Yeah, everyone's on board with the dissolving weight thing. I think that's a, if only you could invent that, that'd be amazing. That would be a really good thing to invent in this time and ensure your financial stability and security. So that would be really cool. So this book, if you haven't already got it, is good. It's been very popular, you know, it's on the top of the charts, so lots of people have seen this and heard of this before. And it's not, it is kind of like a beginner's manual really, and it does kind of contain everything that you need to know about starting to work with the moon cycles. She does term things a little bit differently, and her practice is a little bit different from mine. I did a review of this on my channel as well, so if you're interested in this, you can go and see a kind of more full review. I call this time dark moon, you know, it is seed moon, it is a time when we're planting those seeds, and that happens all the way up until the crescent, where she calls this new moon. But you know, it's semantics really, we're still meaning the same kind of thing. So I'm just finding where she talks about the different signs. So when the new moon is in Taurus, this is what Yasmin Bolan says about it. What you should do is to make a financial plan. Yeah, it's so nice to have dark moon circle. Yes. And red tent as well, which I love too. Love yourself. One of the big issues to work on around this time is your self-worth. So definitely self-image. Think about what you value in yourself and what you value at large. If you don't value yourself, it stands to reason that other people are unlikely to do so either. These things are definitely things that the whole Uranus is going to be flipping on its head. So these are the things that we're going to be addressing. And not just in this moon cycle, you know, these things, because of the Uranus placement now, it's going to be ongoing for the next 7 years, basically. It does pop back into Aries briefly before going in for, like, yeah, like I say, nearly 7 years totally. Be sensual. It's a wonderful time to relax if you can. Taurus may be a charging bull at times, but the energy equally relates to the contented bull in the field, chewing the cud and enjoying the warm sun on its back. Use the new moon in Taurus to take a look around your life. Ask yourself, what would make my life better? So that's another thing you can do. So we've got make a financial plan, love yourself, be sensual. A character check. Are you being too stubborn or too lazy? These are very reasonable questions to ask once a year, and the new moon is the often stubborn and lazy Taurus is a wonderful time to do it. Or perhaps you're not being lazy enough. So it's that kind of bringing those elements of this energy of this time and kind of thinking, right, what is the truth for me at this moment? And then the other thing is to persevere, because Taurus is very much about kind of doing the work, just getting your head down and ploughing those fields, you know, doing the work that needs to be done. So yeah. The other thing I wanted to show you is this, which is a new book for me. This is just, it's only very recently come out, and I used to follow Ezzy Spencer's blog a couple of years ago now, so before we moved into this house. Yeah, so you do get that. Often some Taurians can be lazy because they do really value downtime, and they understand so it's not really laziness, it is kind of liking comfort and liking that kind of downtime, but it is, sometimes they can just be, I want to just keep at it all the time, you know. So yeah, this book by Ezzy Spencer, and when I first flicked through it, it's so pretty. I'll try and show you some of it. It's got like all these like these sort of double pages. I thought this is going to be like a coffee table book, you know, something that is pretty but not actually useful. Well, I've only read the first few chapters so far, and actually it is really, really good. I'll do a proper review, a full review once it's so beautiful, and but it is actually the information in here. She doesn't go into the astrology. She's very sharp, Ezzy, and the way she approaches things is that she's very equal for the thinking mind and for the kind of the heart and the soul, you know. So she isn't woo woo. Oh well, you know, she's written a lunar abundance book, so she's slightly woo woo, but she's not. She's got her head screwed on very, very tightly. She's very clever. There's loads of references in this book to studies and things like that, you know, reference upon reference from all the chapters. The last back of the book is just all references from all the different so it's really good. And yeah, not using the astrology, but it is something that I think that the way she describes the practice, she's much more working with the phases of the moon rather than with the different astrology, and it's really, really lovely. So yeah. So that is that. Shall we do some readings? The other book that came was this. Woohoo! For those of you who are doing the Queen Up videos, then my book's actually come. So has yours come, Kirsten? Has yours come yet? Because I know you were waiting as well. It was a little bit later for us over in Europe than it was in the US. But yeah. So I have got a few different decks. From what I've read so far, it's really good. Oh, brilliant. It has come. Cool. Yeah, it's good. It's a lot smaller than I imagined. I don't know, when I saw Winter Night here holding it, it seemed to look like much bigger. But it is, it's actually quite compact. My hands are very small, and it's it's more like a kind of normal paperback size, but oh really? Yeah, I don't think we need the book to be able to do the prompts anyway, because she's just using it as kind of a base. But I wanted to read it because I just love that. Well, to be honest, the thing that sold it to me is on the front it says, "Unleash the power of your inner tarot queen." And I was just like, yes, I want to unleash the power of my inner tarot queen. So, shall we do some readings? I've got the Good Tarot here. I've got the Wild Unknown. And I've also got, which I thought would be nice, well, it would help if I took it out of the box so you could actually see what it is. I've got the Woman Runes as well, which I talk about loads. Oh, hey, Julie. So nice to see you. So, I'll do like a general reading for the energy of this time for everyone here, and then if you guys would like to have your own readings, you know, then we can just, I normally ask something like, you know, what do you need to know for this coming moon cycle, you know, something like that. So it's just a kind of, and we'll do one card to do that. So these are the Woman Runes. I just love them so much. They're just hilarious and just so, like, they just don't cut, you know, there's no bullshit at all. They're just really, really, oh hey, thank you for joining us. Yeah, they don't pull any punches, but everything is done in a very much like, it's as if your nan, you know, if you have a good relationship with your nan. I love my nan. She was just so lovely. And it's these cards are like my nan. I'm gonna have another little sip of tea. So I'll use the woman runes actually then to do the reading for the energy of this particular time for all of us that are here. It's nice having a little dark moon circle together. Okay. So what we've got, is that focusing all right on there? I don't know if you can see it. It's a little bit fuzzy because it's doing it live. So it's the 2 circles, which is the rune of merging, joining, or dividing. And they're so simple, like I said, these runes, but the meanings are just so deep. So for the 2 circles, already probably things will be popping into your head relevant to you from, you know, from that already. But often this card is talking about our own boundaries, so how we kind of understand ourselves and our relationships with others. So sometimes there is a time for kind of really pushing those circles together, and other times there's a time for pulling those circles apart, you know. But always we are connected with all the people around us. It could also be to do with, if we're talking about a Taurian kind of perspective, you know, of joint finances as well, you know. So it's that kind of making sure we keep our own, not relying on somebody else to solely support us in our finances. That's kind of popping up for me with this card for this, the energy of this time. Okay, so who would like to have a reading? If you let me know if you'd like one and which deck you'd like me to use. So I've got other things behind me as well, so if you don't fancy any of these, you can shout out something else. So I've got, like I said, I've got Wild Unknown. Okay, Anna, which deck would you like me to use? I've got Woman Runes, Wild Unknown, and Good Tarot kind of really close to hand. So any of those would be good. Saves me rummaging around my shelves. I'm going to have a little sip of tea. So Anna, I'm going to do yours first. And Bella, okay. So you don't mind, Anna? Do you know what? I think I'm feeling the Good Tarot for you, actually. Okay, so Bella and Kirsten. Okay, no one else dive in for a second. Okay, Shakti, you may have to remind me, okay? Because I am, it's hard. I find it hard to like kind of keep up to track on the, on here. So Anna, if it's okay with you, I'm going to use the Good Tarot to do your reading. Yeah, of course, everybody can have one. It's fine. There's only, I think there's 13 of us here in the room, 14 including me. Oh, that's such a good number, isn't it, for a moon circle? When I ran a moon group in my local area, we used to always try to have 13 women in the moon group for our 13 moons. So the only problem with this deck, well, I'd say the only problem, there are a few problems with this deck, but it is just a little bit too wide for me to shuffle properly. So let's go. So Anna, what does Anna need to know for this coming moon cycle? Oh, you had a jumping card. Okay. So you have got temptation. And yeah, that is this deck's version of the devil. So yeah, I have this problem on YouTube as well, Dee. It's like every deck I see, well, not every deck, there's lots I see actually, I think I definitely don't want that. But there are, the imagery on this deck is really, really gorgeous. The cards, and they're nice cards too. So Anna, temptation, you can see there's the apple there as well. And also this chest of money is a very Taurian image actually. And the kind of angel or fairy, I think probably fairy, is she's eaten, and it looks like she is kind of draped over the top of the fruit which she's eaten. the heart shape there, and the other fruit. The energy of this month for you is you're a very abundant person. You're very grateful for what you have, but sometimes you can bite off a little bit more than you can chew, and you'll say, people will ask you to do things and you will say yes, yes, yes. You know, it is, you want to be that kind of you are that rock that people will depend on. They'll be like, oh yes, we'll ask Anna, you know, we know that she's going to do what she says she's going to do. She can do it. But if you do that, sometimes you will leave your own well unfilled. You know, it's kind of almost obvious, you know. It's like if you were always giving out energy, helping people, doing things for other people, it can lead you to almost neglect yourself. And I feel like this card is saying to you that this month, it's very important for you to get enough rest, to keep an eye on your own finances. Also, I think to spend some money on yourself instead of spending money on other people. I don't know if, you know, usually you will prioritize buying things for other people over buying things for yourself. So this month, what do you want? What are the things that you actually want to manifest? Rest, treat yourself to good food, don't take on too much, and make wise but from your own heart decision about your finances. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so I think Bella, you said you were next, and which deck would you like, Bella? Can you just remind me? I have put those down, otherwise I'm just going to shuffle them again. You're welcome, Anna. Yeah, you know, I feel like sometimes when you're doing live readings like that, it's almost like the energy of everybody here does definitely affect the readings as well. So the messages, always when I read for other people, I'm like, I also needed to hear that myself. Okay, Bella, we'll go with Good Tarot then. So this is quite a new deck for me. I bought it about a month or so ago now. I quite like it. It's one of those decks people have been complaining about as being kind of nice washed, because it's changed the names and the kind of imagery of some of the not so nice cards. I haven't done a walkthrough of this deck. I don't often do them just because I feel like there's so many more. Oh, hey, Queen Osset, thank you so much for being here. It's, other people do them much better than me. Whenever I do them, I think I've only actually done one actually for the Celestial Tarot, and it was like over half an hour long because I just can't stop talking. So, Bella, what does Bella need to know for this month? What is going to be, Bella, what is this month for Bella? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you also have Temptation, and it is so apt for this time that I think this is why this card is wanting to jump out of this deck and be for many of us. For you, Bella, I think the focus is more on the sleeping, the rest, and not being disturbed. You need to take some time this month to rest, but to kind of ponder on your own thing, you know, it's almost like a meditation rather than sleep. It is a kind of cocoon. I feel like you're going to be ascending. You're like leveling up in your life right now. There's a lot of change happening, and you're going to be shedding another skin. And so this month, be really, really cocooning of yourself, and it's almost not hide from the world, but try and say no to anything that you don't have to do. Yeah. So don't be afraid to say no to things and really focus on this big change which is coming for you, and it is going to be a really big change. So not a bad change, a perfect, beautiful change. So yeah, Yeah, because the cards are tools, aren't they? You know, they open the door and then the information comes through. So yeah, temptation twice. Okay, so Kirsten was next, and she said she wanted the woman runes. Good choice. So that was the good tarot. Sorry, I saw somebody pop up and say which deck was that I was using. I'm now going to use the woman runes. I want to make these into actual runes on wood. But the reason I haven't done it yet is because I'm so, like, sawing 45 pieces of wood just doesn't really appeal to me. I'm trying to get my father-in-law to do it for me for my birthday. I don't mind doing the kind of pyrography to get them on there, but the cutting, not so much. Ooh, okay, so one jumped for you. So what have we got? The wand. I love this rune. The wand, the rune of blessing, making sacred, honouring, calling in, sending forth, making boundaries, consecration, blessing. So, the wand. And obviously relating to wands in tarot as well. Even though this deck is not obviously a tarot deck, I do find some of the imagery definitely fits into the suit category. So this would be in the kind of wands, that kind of fire energy, that creative energy. I don't know if you're moving. It feels like it's, oh, hey Simon, thanks so much for coming in. It feels like there is a big change, which could be moving, which I don't know if that's what you had in mind, but at least not, maybe even if it's not a house move, it could well be like within job move. But this, you're very protected, and you're very much, this is very much an important, it's a forward move for you, you know, whatever the thing is that you're doing. I almost can feel, it feels almost like more like an office move. I don't know, weird. Okay, so health, yeah, I guess. Although this generally for me feels more like kind of career matters, but it is very blessed as well, and blessing. So it is, you are more in command. You're the one holding the wand. You can choose now what you call forth, what you give out, okay? You're not at the mercy of the wand, okay? So you can make those choices. Yeah, it's a really, really positive card. I love it. I don't know if you have a wand, Kirsten. It might be time to get one if you don't. Okay. So, interesting. Who's up next? I think it was Shakti. I don't know which one I'm on now. Can someone help me out, guys? Yes, your turn. And which did you say, Shakti? Did you say good tarot? You're welcome, Bella. Okay, okay. So, do you know, I'm actually going to use the Wild Unknown for you. Oh, wow. One of Cassia's wands. Cassia's wands. That's beautiful. Okay, so Wild Unknown. So, what does Shakti need to know? This lunar cycle, what is she going to be manifesting? What is this cycle about for her? Okay. So we've got temperance, we've got balance, we've got a new baby. Probably not actually, but it's balancing work and family commitments, and also like people say about balance, and it's always like, oh, you know, you should be perfectly balanced all the time, but actually life doesn't work like that. Sometimes you really have to throw yourself into like the work, and then other times you throw yourself into, oh, your shop. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, and this is a really beautiful version of the Temperance card. So it is, I feel like you've been feeling, kind of berating yourself for not having this balance. It's almost like you're like, oh, my work-life balance is not good, you know, I've been spending too much time maybe trying to build things up and stuff like that. And okay, yeah, balancing full-time work in the shop. Okay. And you're feeling kind of, oh, hey, thank you for joining us. So you're feeling kind of like you're having to, it's like kind of push-pull, you know, but that's okay. That's all right. It's hard on you because it's consuming an awful lot of your energy. But actually, you see that kind of water dropping in there onto the fire? And that gets steam, you know. And what does steam do? It powers things. You know, you can be that steam engine. You can use that power, even though you haven't got a perfect balance, because you're having to find these like little bits and pieces of time to do the things you actually want to do. You can steam through. Okay. Yeah. So that is what the Wild Unknown wanted to say for you. So who was up next? Guys, who would like a reading? Let me know which deck you want as well. So I've got Wild Unknown, the Good Tarot, and I've got Woman Runes here as well. I don't think you can hear downstairs as well. Sounds like my little boy's hurt himself. My husband is down there, so hopefully he's sorting it out. Pippa, was it you? Which deck would you like, Pippa? Did you say Good Tarot, actually, I think? Oh, and Andrea. Okay, so I'll do Andrea. I'll do Pippa first, Andrea, then I'll do you, okay? I hope that's okay. Good Tarot then, yeah? Okay. And Andrea, if you could let me know which deck you like as well, that would be helpful. I've got to add like another layer of complication in here, you know, so Pippa, what does this lunar month have in store for you? Okay, so wow, okay, the World card. This month you are completing a cycle, you know, I love this card, and it's so good as well for the kind of Saturn energy, which is all around us at the moment. Saturn is very much kind of a big player in all of our lives from an astrological point of view this month. So this card, see how everything's like lined up and there's like a little lock on the top? You are unlocking that next level. So this month, expect to find out what it is you're going to do next. I think that's basically it. You're going to know, because at the moment you don't quite know what it is. So, but you are going to look for signs, especially in dream time. You know, when you're sleeping, you'll have insight. Okay, I hope that works for you. Andrea, Good Tarot. I should do it like you do, shouldn't I? And just keep going until I get a jumper. I'll try. I'll see it how you do it. So we need a card for Andrea. It probably won't jump now. Even though this deck is ridiculously unwieldy. Yeah, it is all about to fall into place. It's going to be a beautiful, beautiful... That is the world, you know. If you think of the Rider-Waite-Smith version with the dancer and, you know, all of the elements there, it's a beautiful culmination. And you've worked hard for it, so you deserve it. Andrea, no jumpers still? I might just have to cut. I'm going to cut. What does Andrea have in store? Oh, lovely, lovely. Yes, the Empress. And what a majestic, powerful Empress you are. I love this card. The imagery of this deck is just so gorgeous. Look at that, you know, it's just like... Sorry, Emperor, not Empress, yeah. It's so so in control and so so fiery. So fiery. You know, the Emperor is very much like you're getting all of you're getting your shit in order, you know. You are it's it's funny what you said at the beginning, actually, when we were talking about the energy of this time. You said actually you feel like you're not wanting that Taurus grounding energy. You're feeling like that pushing forward, and this is very much an Aries card. You know, you're continuing that kind of Aryan journey that we started last month and really pushing forward with things. So everything that you do, you're very sensible about it, very kind of clear-headed. It's called the Good Tarot, Pippa. The Good Tarot. Let me show you the box so you can see what we're talking about. Very reasonably priced. I don't know if the sale's finished actually now, but they were on sale fairly recently. So, you're leading. You are taking the lead in your own life and not waiting for other people to, men, to approach you. You are doing the approaching. Maybe not so much the approaching, but you are definitely happy to take the lead, and it is being appreciated by people because they can see that you know what you're doing. You are to be trusted. You are, I would definitely follow you. If you said, if you say, come now, you need to do this, I'd be like, yes, okay. And that is what the energy that you've got at the moment. So just please make the most of that energy to sweep through this month, and you're going to get so much done, and you're going to find you can get lots of people on side. So you can really get people behind what you're doing as well. So yeah, it's going to be a really, really great month for you. Wonderful. Raw. Awesome. Okay. So where are we up to, guys? Who's next? I always feel like I want like a pad of paper. You're welcome, Andre. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, I almost feel like I want like a pad and to write down people's names and which deck they've said they want. Who's up next? I know Queen Osset said that she would like one, and she said dealer's choice. So as I have the Good Tarot in my hand, Aya's girl, yeah. So I'm going to do that for her now with the Good Tarot, if that's okay, as I already have it here. I've been using this deck for, in fact, it's unusual for me because I kind of jumped to using it. I just felt like I wanted to use it tonight, so I grabbed it, even though normally I use a deck for myself for sometimes a year before I use it for readings for other people. So, okay, Mara, so you're in the queue for the Good Tarot. Okay, so I'll do Queen Osset, Oya's girl, and I will do yours, Mara, next, okay? So, Queen Osset, let's tap into that gorgeous. She's the Empress for me when I watch her videos. You're the Empress. Okay, so let's see what is happening here. Also, how interesting, actually, I just thought that there's been these majors coming up for everyone as well, hasn't there? Okay, so for Queen Osset, we've got 3 of air. Okay, so I don't know how things have been going for you lately, but this card, I'm sure it relates to, if we're talking Rider-Waite-Smith imagery, then we're talking, the heart with 3 swords into it. It's like you almost feel sometimes like you're attacked by people with words, that's what it feels like. It feels like a kind of, not bullying, but maybe almost like trolling or something, like people are, the gorgeous energy that you put out, which I feel like is very much kind of encapsulated in this, this gorgeous angel, I think angel. There's lots of birds on here as well, and they're wearing crowns. I don't know if you can see that, but the birds in this card are wearing crowns. There is a lot of kind of regal, stately. Yeah, I hope she's still here as well, but if she's not, she can always watch it back after, so that's okay. So it's that that kind of stately energy, and other people are not really respecting that, and they're perhaps saying things about you, or kind of, oh good, you are still here, that's good. It is, and I feel like that it's the people who don't understand you, And so they're perhaps not even meaning to be cutting, but what they're saying is actually cutting. And you've tried to kind of shrug it off, but actually it is hurting you, and they don't realize they're hurting you, but they are. And I'm not sure what you're going to do about that. It feels like this month you're going to kind of just absorb it almost, you know. You're going to just let it kind of, you're going to take it in, and you're going to use your kind of groundedness and centeredness to rise above it. That's what you're going to do. You're going to just rise above it. You're going to fly away with those birds. Yeah. So when this month, if the things come at you, and I feel like it is going to be words, like people are going to say things without really realizing that it's cutting. So you can just rise above it. I feel like that's not going to make sense right now, but I think it's going to by the end of the month. I feel like this situation hasn't quite manifested yet. Interesting. I hope that was useful. Maybe refer back to it at the end of the month. Right, Mara. It does still hurt. It is going to still hurt, of course, of course. But this month you're going to find a way to be able to actually, you know, you already pretend to, not pretend, but you already keep your calm to the, you know, on the exterior. But this month you're going to find a way to actually rise above it and actually not let it hurt you so deeply anymore. You know, you will kind of see it for what it is. It's people who don't understand, who they're not seeing the big picture of the big, you know, of the beautiful person that you are. They can't see that. They're seeing something different, which is not you. And that is why they can say things like that. It's not you they're talking about. It's what they've got in their heads, their image of somebody else. Okay, Mara. What have we got here? What is coming up for you this month? This lunar cycle. Wow, another major. The Chariot. You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I love your energy. Okay. Interesting Chariot card. It's, you know, like the Chariot is, it's even in the Rider-Waite, people think of the Chariot as kind of like, that's no worries, Pippa, so nice for you to be here. We'll see you another time. Maybe see you next dark moon. So I think sometimes people think of the Chariot as being really kind of like driving forward, but actually a lot of the time the imagery of the card of the Chariot is of the potential for kind of driving forward, but not actually pushing forward, if you see what I mean. And that's what I feel like this month you are doing. You kind of have this kind of pent up energy and you're not quite sure where to direct it yet. The good news is that you have, it's a big deal for you, this. It's almost like you've got a decision to make, and you're not, I was going to say hedging your bets, but it's not so much that. It is like you are, you're not committing. You're not committing. And this month, I feel like you're still not going to commit, but it's going to have to happen very soon. Okay, if any opportunities and things come up this month, don't let them slip through your fingers. It is you can't hide away from this change anymore. You need to move forward. Okay, don't wait. Any flashes of inspiration that come to you, any opportunities, take them, because you need to get those horses going. Okay, it feels like the energy's all there and it's built up, and it's got to go somewhere now. Okay, it's really got to go somewhere. Do it. Whatever it is that you're bottling up, you need to let that cord go. Okay, there you go, Mara. It's going to be fun too. That's going to be a fun one. Just going to top up my tea. Okay, so who's next, guys? You're welcome. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. So where are we at? Who's next? Somebody just popped up then, I think, didn't they, and said they wanted one too. This deck is proving really nice, actually, for reading with. I felt like it was going to. I had a feeling about that tonight. And obviously Kirsten, she jumped out from the pack and had a wand as well. A magic wand for this season. This moon season. Who was it who said they wanted a reading? I saw somebody else pop up, I'm sure. Can I don't, oh, actually, right, okay, so I think I can see it. Nomqua, am I saying that right? Nomqua. Do you mind if I use the good tarot? Is that okay with you? And I know there's obviously people here who haven't asked for readings, and that is totally fine too, because I do that sometimes as well when people are doing live reading things. I just like to kind of soak up the vibe, and I feel like a lot of the messages they ripple out. So the messages are for the person, but they also kind of ripple out. Good on you, Bella, because that was one of the messages that you needed to heed. Okay, Julie, I'll do one for you after as well. So, Nomqua. What is the message for her, for you? What is going on this lunar cycle? Okay, so this card wants to be the card. Page of Earth. Gorgeous, gorgeous page of Earth. Look at that. And I'm almost going to say the stereotypical, it is such a beautiful card, gorgeous, gorgeous card. And I'm going to go for the stereotype that it is about a new... have you signed up for like a herbalism course or something like that? This is what my brain is telling me, which sometimes you just got to go with the flow. It's about starting a new learning journey. And it feels like the journey is very much going to be connected with the earth. So like permaculture or herbs, gardening, horticulture, it's that kind of thing. I can see plants and plants, but I suppose that could be seeds. You know, it's oh, okay, I know. It's something that you are going to be learning, which you're hoping is going to be actually a new career for you. It's going to be something that you're going to be earning money from, not straight away, but it's going to be something that you will be earning money from in the future, you hope. So, which is brilliant. This is so lovely for the Taurus moon as well that we're talking about, because it is very much about money earning, security. But, you know, you are the page, and this is a very young page. So it is, you're just at the start of the journey now, but it's, look at that, like that's so gorgeous, you know, it's so exciting, it's really, enjoy it, it's going to be really cool. I think actually as well, you don't have to focus so much on the end goal. You can really just kind of relax into it and enjoy the learning. These subjects are things that you are very interested in anyway. You know, this is where you're supposed to be going. This is your path. Look, he's on his path. Yeah, lovely, very exciting times. Okay, so Julie, Island Alien, good, and I think you said the good tarot is okay, so let's stick with that. So what does Julie need this month? What is happening in this lunar cycle for her? Oh, good, I'm glad. very, very watery card. The Four of Water. It's a mermaid, which I suppose being on an island, you probably do have a lot of sea. This month, though, is you're going to be... It's going to be a little bit tricky sometimes this month, because there are things which have been very, very close to you. There are people that have been very, very close to you who you are realising actually aren't necessarily that good for you. They aren't so much encouraging your growth as a person and with what you want to do with your life. And it's going to be time this month to kind of really see ways of not completely cutting ties, but of finding a way of just kind of finding a new relationship with them. I feel like these are people who are very close to you, but maybe even family members. So it's not about cutting them out, but it's about finding a new way of connecting, which is going to work for you and for them, and will actually be wonderful for you, for all of you. Water obviously is going to be really, really important, and it is going to be it'll probably be a good way of kind of cutting ties as well. You know, you might be able to use water, so not so much cut ties, it just kind of wash the really tight connections away. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It's something that is sometimes so close to... Sometimes these relationships are so close, we almost don't even see them for what they are as well. So just be really, really aware of your feelings this month. And any time that you feel a kind of constricted... look outside of that and see, like, why am I feeling like this? You can sometimes take it on yourself and kind of blame yourself for your feelings and take the responsibility for them all on you, but it's not all on you. You know, sometimes it is from other people too. So goodbye. I haven't been able to read all the chat. I'm gonna have to kind of read back through it later. I hope I haven't missed anything important. It's been so lovely being here with you all. It's been just lovely. I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, Julie, just assess, and not assess, it's almost too guttural for that. It's too connected, too close to you, okay? So you need to just kind of feel into it and think, is this me, or is this something the other person is giving out? And my feeling is that it's often the other person and you're taking that responsibility. So you can find ways to let go of that link and to let go of that responsibility and let them have their own feelings, and you can have your own feelings and your own way of doing things as well. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. Also, just be in water as much as you can this month. Really kind of let it soak you in, you know, and just take strength from it. Okay. Card went flying then as well. Oh, okay. So, was there anybody else who said they wanted a reading? Are we done? It's been such good fun. It's gone so quickly as well. I don't know how long. Oh my gosh, it's been nearly an hour. I can't believe it. Wow, that hour has gone really, really quickly. If anybody else would like one. Oh, hey Matilda. Thanks for being here. And don't apologise for being late. I didn't actually really tell anyone that I was doing it, so it's always more luck than judgment if people turn up. Does anybody else want a card? I'll give you a few moments to let me know, because I think the chat is always like a little bit behind what is actually happening for me anyway. You're welcome, Mara. Tash, yes, of course you may ask for one. Is the Good Tarot okay for you? Or would you like something else? I'm happy to switch if you'd like something else. Okay. Good tarot. So what does Tash need to know for this lunar cycle? What's coming up for her? Two of water. And you've got goldfish here. And they're kind of swimming in different directions. It's nice though, they're enjoying themselves. And it is, this month is going to be light relief. If things have been a bit heavy going lately, and there's been an awful lot on your plate, this month is going to give you chance. And when I say month, I mean like this lunar month now, this Taurian lunar month is going to give you the opportunity to just have a bit of fun, actually. To relax, to just enjoy your close connections with the people who are your kind of nearest and dearest, and not to you may not want to kind of go out too much and socialize and things like that, and that is totally fine. It is fine for you to just be with those who you can just be yourself with, and you don't have to put any kind of, sometimes it can feel really hard, especially if you're slightly introverted, to go out into the world, and you have to really kind of steel yourself up and put almost like a mask on. And this month is going to allow you to let that mask down, and mostly with those who are really close to you. Maybe even one particular person that you're getting closer to at the moment. It feels like that could be a possibility too. I don't know if any of that makes sense to you. Hopefully it does. And have a little sip of tea. See if anything else comes up. It's also a very childlike card. It's about playing as well, you know. So it is, it's letting your hair down and just being yourself and playing inner child connections as well. You know, what were the things you used to enjoy doing before things all got a little bit serious? You know, you can just lighten up a little bit and have some fun. Get the extra things off your plate that you don't actually need to be doing, and you know, just relax, have fun, kick back a bit. Okay, so Tarot Mama just popped up and said she would like a reading too. I actually saw that, so I'm winning at life a little bit. I think I am gonna have to like stop it at some point just because of the time, but we will see. I would love to be able to do it for everybody who's here who would like one, so let's try and do that. Tarot Mama, what is coming up for her this lunar cycle this month? What does she need to know this month? This deck is so massive. It's just so wide. It's so hard to do it. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. It's so lovely to have you here. It was a really nice atmosphere, which seems so weird to say on a YouTube video. But it is. It's really nice. It does feel like kind of being in a room with people. That's why I like Simon's videos. I don't know if Simon's still here, but when he does his catch up with cards and things like that, it's just nice kind of being there and chatting with the people, and everyone's there because they're interested in the same things, you know. It's nice. Tarot Mama. Okay, what have we got? 6 of air. Okay. Okay, so things have been pretty shit. And they still are a bit muddled and confused at the moment. But what is really cool is that this month is going to give you that opportunity to literally sail away, you know. Not leave. It's more of a like a mental fresh start. You're able to like go, right, okay, draw a line, that's gone. And there's other people caught up in this as well, but it's gonna be resolved for everybody, which is really cool. Anything that is not people who aren't on your wavelength and stuff like that, then don't worry about it. Just it's the people who are important to you are going to be the ones who are going to be on that boat with you and going. That's what it feels like, actually, that you've wanted to take a particular course of action, but the people that you kind of trust and who are close to you have not been so much on board with that. And that is what has kind of been, you've been kind of stagnant in this place and kind of mired in this place for a while, kind of treading water, really, you know. Even though it's an air card with the boat there, it feels still like it's some emotional things going on there as well. But now they are going to get on board with you. They're going to realise that you are right, actually, in what you're saying and what you need to do to actually move forward from this situation. So they're going to be able to see that clearly as well, and you can all kind of just move on together. So that's good. It's not going to happen instantly, but just don't go at it like a bull in a china shop as well. From a Taurus point of view, you know, sometimes it can be sometimes a gentle breeze is better than a massive wind for changing people's minds. You know, just drip, drip, drip information, rather than like having to be really, you don't need to be antagonistic about it. You don't need to pick arguments or anything like that. You can just say things and just let those words settle in. So yeah, I was kind of getting that energy. But it doesn't have to be all exactly your own way, but you are right about this particular situation, and letting people almost kind of make their own minds up with the information that you're giving them is going to be a much easier and a much smoother sailing than if you try and push, because, you know, you need the wind in your sails. You're never going to row a boat that size by yourself. So you need those people. Keep them on board. Okay? So, is there anyone else who would like a reading? I'm almost on the last of my tea. Oh, thank you, Andre. Thank you. Thank you, Tarot Mama. I hope that did make sense for you. Next one will be obviously near the next dark moon, and that does mean that we do jump and chop around the days and times a little bit. So I do always make like a little thing for it on the channel, so that you can, I think you can see it, although I haven't really found a way. There should be a way of like pinning it somewhere, but I don't really know how to do that, so I'll have to look into it. The other way you can keep on top of things if you want to is I do have like a newsletter. I call it the Muse-letter, actually, the magic newsletter that I send out once a month, which I send that out near the full moon time with ideas about kind of what to do with the full moon manifesting and kind of release and just general astrological stuff. So if you would like to know more about that, in that newsletter I always put when this thing is going to be happening, so you can stay on top of that. Oh, thank you, Kirsten. That's really sweet. Much love to you too. I love it when you stop by. It's so lovely. So I think that seems to be it. It's been so lush to be here with you all, and yeah, it's been really fun, and I can't believe it is like we're nearly on 70 minutes. But yeah, quickly before we go, I have something I wanted to read for you actually, which I'd saved. So I wasn't expecting to have saved it for 70 minutes, so we'll see. It's called She's Always There, and it's by Saltar Tiv Amanda, and it's from the Wee Moon. And I read this today and I thought this is really beautiful. In my being somewhere is a memory of the first time I saw her silver beloved face. I'm sure it was when she was round and bright in my window. As I turned my tiny brown face to look at her in wonder, my dear auntie used to recite wink and blink and nod to me as I drifted off to sleep, filling my little girl head with dreamy pictures of sailing on a river of crystal light into a sea of dew. As a teen, I started tracking her, lonely in my room, my rebellious maiden's face upturned to the starry skies. I found solace in her face, shining in at me, cool, beautiful, ever-changing. This is when I learned of her cycles and how together she and I moved in an ancient synchronous dance. As a new mother, she helped me to understand and herald an amazing time in my life with a deeper love than I'd ever known. I saw her face mirrored in the wee moon-like faces of my own little twins. With her tides moving in me as always, I learned to feel her power drawn into me, through and around me. As I raised my arms on full moon nights, she became my blessed and beloved sister. I came to know her as Hecate, and later I learned from the goddesses of my ancestors, Yamea and Ocean, that the waters of life flow deeply and surely through all of our lives. And now, my cycle's done, I carry within me strength and wisdom because of her and all that she showed me of love. For it was her beloved and silver shining face that has always seen my brown one unconditionally. She has taught me how to see as she does, with light, openness, and unending love. I understand more clearly now the turnings of the tides of life and her endless turning in me, until that day comes when she draws back her veil for me to see her hidden face as death finally claims me. I just thought that was so beautiful for the moon connection generally, for Taurus, that kind of earthy, sensual earth mother. And also for Mother's Day, which it isn't for me, but I know it is for some of you. So thank you so much for being here, guys. I know it's gone on for ages, ages and ages, but it has been really lovely. Warmest, warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon.